Welcome to a new Bitcoin Books video. Today, we are diving into Jimmy Song's really provocative book, Fiat Ruins Everything. So, have you ever had that feeling like you're working harder and harder, but just falling further behind? Well, according to this book, that's not just your imagination. It's actually a feature of our financial system. Let's dig into his thesis.
Right off the bat, the book does not pull any punches. It opens with this direct accusation that the system is literally robbing you. Now, this isn't just about economics, it's a huge moral claim. It frames our money as the root cause of some really deep societal problems. And that statement, right there, sets the stage for everything that follows.
The author, Jimmy Song, kind of positions himself as our guide here. Think Morpheus from The Matrix, showing us a hidden reality. He argues that the system itself is the problem. So in this explainer, we're going to follow his argument. First, we'll look at the hidden truth behind why life just feels harder. Then, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of how fiat money actually works. After that, we'll explore its surprising impact on, well, everything, from our families to our jobs. And finally, we'll get to the solution he proposes, Bitcoin.
Okay, so let's start where the book does. And it's not with complicated charts or anything, but with a feeling. You know, that nagging sense that the world is just a little off-kilter? That the rules of the game have changed, and something fundamental just feels broken? The author argues this anxiety isn't just in your head. It's the reality of working harder for a paycheck that somehow buys less and less. It's watching those cool, unique local businesses disappear, replaced by generic chains. It's that feeling of just being a cog in some giant, impersonal machine. According to the book, these aren't all separate issues. They're all symptoms of a single hidden cause that we're about to get into.
So what is this hidden cause? Well, the book points its finger directly at the money in our wallets. And to really understand why, we need to look at two huge concepts that he focuses on. One is debasement, and the other is a little-known but really powerful idea called the Cantillon effect.
Okay, so what exactly is fiat money? Put simply, it's money that's backed by a government decree, not something physical like gold. Now, it's super convenient for, buying a cup of coffee. But the book argues that for its most important job, storing the value of your hard work over time, it is a catastrophic failure.
And the scale of that failure is, well, it's staggering. According to the book, which pulls from government data, the US dollar has lost over 97% of its purchasing power in about a century. Just think about that for a second. From this perspective, the very act of saving your money in a bank account has been a guaranteed way to lose your wealth.
But the problem is even deeper than just losing value. And this brings us to the Cantillon effect. It's this idea that it's not just that new money is created, it's about who gets it first. This, the book argues, is the hidden engine that drives a lot of the inequality in our society. So here's how it works. A central bank creates new money, but it doesn't just show up in your bank account or mine. Nope, it flows first to banks and big corporations. And they get to spend it while prices are still low, buying up assets. Then, as that new money slowly trickles through the economy, it bids up the prices of everything for everyone else. By the time it finally reaches the average person, its purchasing power has already been watered down. The result? A system that systematically rewards those closest to the money printer.
Now, according to the book, this isn't just some abstract economic theory. The incentives that fiat money creates have these huge ripple effects, fundamentally reshaping the very fabric of our society. So let's explore the impact the author claims it has on our families, our work, and even our education. The book makes the case that the family used to be the core economic unit. It was our safety net for old age, our insurance against bad luck, but as fiat money allowed the state to expand, it started taking over these roles. Now, for many, it's Social Security, not our children, that supports us in retirement. It's government loans, not family savings, that fund education. The author's claim is that this hasn't made us freer. It's just replaced our reliance on family with a reliance on the state, and that weakens the bonds that hold us together.
The fiat system, the book also claims, warps the whole nature of work itself. It basically creates two different paths to getting wealthy. The first path is the producer, the engineer, the farmer, the artist, someone who creates real value. But then there's a second path, the rent seeker. This is the person who gets rich not by creating anything new, but by mastering the political and financial games that get them closer to that fire hose of new money. It rewards extraction over production.
And yeah, even education, the author argues, has been completely reshaped. It's shifted from being a way to pass down timeless knowledge and values to becoming more like a factory for creating compliant workers.
In this world, the goal isn't necessarily to become wise, but to get the right credentials, that approved stamp that says you're ready to serve the fiat economy.
Okay, so after pages and pages of diagnosing a world in decay, the book makes this really dramatic turn. It argues we're not just doomed to this fate. It presents a path out, a solution that it claims is as radical as the problem is deep.
And that solution is Bitcoin. The author presents it not as just some tech investment, but as a fundamental antidote to fiat. So why? Because its core features are the exact opposite of the current system. It has a fixed supply, no one can just print more of it, and it's decentralized, meaning it exists completely outside the control of the very banks and governments that, he argues, created all these problems in the first place.
I mean, when you put the two systems side by side, the contrast is it's stark. Where fiat is unlimited, Bitcoin is fixed. Where fiat hands new money to insiders, Bitcoin requires provable work. But maybe the most crucial change, according to the author, is how it affects our mindset. Fiat teaches you to spend today, because your money is going to be worth less tomorrow. But a sound money, like Bitcoin, he argues, encourages you to save and plan for the long term.
And this change in incentives is everything. The author's ultimate hope is that by fixing the money, we can start to fix the world. By taking away the ability to print money out of thin air, we shrink the power of political games. We shift the rewards away from the extractors and back to the creators. The grand vision here is that this isn't just about finance, it's about reigniting human progress itself.
And so, the book leaves us with this one profound question. It presents a really powerful case that the money we use every single day is quietly shaping our families, our work, and our future. It claims to have found the root of our problems. So the final question it leaves for us to think about is this: can changing our money truly change our world?
For those who want to learn more, the link to get the book is available in the video description. If you found this content interesting, please subscribe to the channel and like it to help us reach as many people as possible. Thank you,